am going to be showing you my long, healthy hair care routine. As a person who is very prone to split ends, breakage, and hair fall naturally, plus all of my tips on how I protect the lengths of my hair. You know the drill. Go get yourself a coffee, a little bev, a snack, a blanket, and honestly a notepad if you want to take notes, because this video is going to be chock full of lots of hair care tips. Write that down, write that down! I hope you're ready. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Hey. I post a lot of beauty content. About a year ago, I posted a video called How I Finally Got My Hair Long and Healthy. If your hair is stuck at one length and you cannot figure out why, you feel like you've tried everything. That video resonated with a lot of people, helped a lot of people. I got amazing feedback on it, and it is probably the video I am most proud of that I have ever made on my channel. This is going to be a little update. We are going to be touching a lot of things that are also said in that video because I still do everything that is shown. Something that I like to be very, very transparent about in all of my hair care videos, skincare, and nails, and all the beauty videos I do is that I am not a professional. I'm just a girl who really, really likes beauty stuff. I've always found the beauty world so fun and interesting. But along with that, I really love the science behind it all. I love learning new things. If I ever stopped doing YouTube, or if I just never started doing YouTube, I definitely would be in the line of work. Something to do with beauty, either a trichologist or a nail technician. But for the time being, I can work at home and be a YouTuber. Give all you beautiful people all the tips that I have learned and be your digital big sister. So another little disclaimer that I have said 1,000 times, and I will continue to say it in every single hair care video because I am so sick and tired of seeing it all over social media. Nothing can grow your hair faster. Scalp massages, scalp serums, derma rolling, dermastam, even minoxidil. It didn't grow your hair faster. Just because that stuff isn't growing your hair faster doesn't mean it isn't doing anything. Everything I do for my scalp helps prolong the anagen phase so that my hair stays on my head longer, grows stronger, and comes in denser. The one thing that has ever shown hair growing faster than its normal rate is pregnancy. It is not the vitamins, the supplements, the prenatals that the women are taking that make their hair grow faster, because I know that's like a huge thing. Like, guys, just take prenatals. It'll make your hair grow fast like pregnant women. No, it is the actual hormones that pregnant women produce that is making their hair grow faster. Sadly, for a lot of pregnant women, they lose a lot of that hair growth. Postpartum hair loss is like a humongous thing. So don't get pregnant to make your hair grow faster, I guess. I don't know. There's probably someone crazy out there enough to do that. So there are a lot of things that can grow your hair slower. Hair growth stunters. If you're doing things to combat the hair growth stunters, yes, your hair is growing faster than it was when your hair growth was being stunted, but it's still growing at its natural rate. You cannot grow your hair faster than its natural rate. I don't know how I see so many people just saying like, do this and it'll grow your hair faster. It really irks me. A person that is watching that and their hair is already growing at their natural rate, and you're like, do scalp massages and hair oiling, and they do that, their hair is still gonna grow in at their natural rate. It's not gonna grow any faster. Now, if you tell someone that who's doing a bunch of hair growth stunters, like not getting enough sleep, their diet's horrible, they're not ever moving their body and have no circulation, then yeah, their hair is going to grow faster. And this is why this is such a debated thing online, because every single time I say your hair can't grow faster, the whole entire comment section is like, I don't know, girl. My hair grew in so much faster when I started hair oiling. I'm like, how don't you guys... It's not clocking to you.
It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business, is it?
When people say that, then other people just believe them. And I'm like, but that's not true.
It's just an opinion. Things affect everybody differently. I'm like, no.
That's a fact. You can't just say something's an opinion when it's a fact. Anyways, I am so passionate about that. We're gonna move on. Yes, the rumors are true. I have good hair genetics. This is baby Kaylee. Obviously you can tell she has very gorgeous hair. This is Kaylee in high school. Obviously you can tell, very gorgeous hair. But from my experience in talking to a lot of other women and men, those hair genetics just go downhill the older you get. About 19, 20, my hair pretty much like decreased in density. And so since my hair was already thick, it wasn't that crazy. Me though, I decided to bleach the absolute crap out of my hair. I'm talking bleaching and dyeing 30+ times in the span of like less than a year. It was 2020 was the only thing that I could control. I felt powerless, and I think we forget how horrible 2020 was, okay? I wouldn't say I regret it. I think everybody needs to go through a stage where they just dye their hair a bunch of random colors and they bleach their hair at home, and it is so character building and so fun. But then my hair ended up like this, you know? This is it styled with heat, by the way. It doesn't look good to me compared to what my hair was at one point in my life and what it looks like now. This was the kickstart to my hair care journey. This was my hair exactly 1 year ago, and this was my hair 1 year before that. Now 2023 to 2024 might not look as drastic, is because I got a bunch of haircuts, so like you subtract that from like how much it grew up, you know? My goal hair length is to get it down to my hips, so we're almost there. This is all 100% virgin hair. Virgin hair is when there hasn't been any like coloring done to it, chemical treatments like keratin treatments or perm or something like that. So obviously I did all of that coloring in the past, and so I have grown out all of that bleach. All of the past bleach has been completely cut off. Now that I have finally gotten my hair to this length, it is a little bit more high maintenance than I thought. I just want to say that my hair is fragile. Hair that splits very, very easily. I know that there's gonna be people that are watching that are like, my hair is longer than yours and I don't do any of this and my hair doesn't have any breakage. That's amazing and beautiful. I wish my hair was like you, and I wish I didn't have to do anything to it, but if I don't do anything to it, I have a lot of hair fall and I lose my density, and my hair splits like crazy, rides up, breaks off, then it feels like my hair isn't growing, and my hair strands don't grow in as healthy. So without further ado, let's finally get into it. So the very first thing that we're gonna talk about is hair trims. Knowing when to get a haircut can be very confusing. There's a million different things on the internet always being said. First thing you need to know, split ends cannot be fixed. Yes, there are products that can help, like kind of put them back together just so your hair can grow out, but they are still split. Like they are not fixed no matter what, and you still have to cut them off. The only way to get rid of them is to cut them off. I know that is not what people want to hear. Obviously, people want there to be something magical so they can just have long hair and never have to get a trim, because sometimes it takes us so long to grow out our hair, especially if you are bleaching and using heat on your hair consistently. My girls that are bleaching like every single month, you have those appointments booked. My platinum girlies, my girls using heat on their hair 3+ times a week or just like every single day, just know you are going to need to get hair trims more than everybody else. More damage equals more hair trims, and that is so, so important to remember. What happens if you have split ends and you just don't do anything? They are just going to keep splitting and splitting and splitting all the way up the hair shaft, and they're just going to break off everywhere. Now, a little bit of breakage, even for everybody, even for me, and the people with the most healthiest hair on the face of the planet have the teeniest, tiniest bit of breakage. If you have some flyaways up here or around your face framing or back here on your neck, that is completely normal. Literally, laying on your hair like this causes breakage. Hair rubbing on the back of your t-shirt causes breakage. Eliminating a lot of things that cause breakage is really how you keep your lengths healthy, and we're obviously going to get into that a little bit later. How often do I trim my hair? When I had platinum hair and was using heat on it like multiple times a week, honestly, because I had to, because my hair looked so unhealthy if I didn't, which is just like a little disclaimer that I want to say, because I feel like a lot of people don't know that. If you're watching like your favorite influencer that dyes their hair every month or more and their hair still looks super healthy, one, they probably are having so many salon treatments to help keep their hair holding on to their head, but also I could bet $1 million that every single time you're seeing their hair, it is styled with heat. The most damaged hair on the face of the planet can look good with heat, especially on camera. So please remember that, and don't feel bad if like your hair is falling off from dyeing it or just barely even doing anything, and then you're seeing these influencers dyeing their hair all the time. Their hair probably looks like crap in real life. I'm sorry. That sounds so mean, but you cannot really tell the like complete state of someone's hair from like this far away on an iPhone camera. Anyways, back to what I was saying. When my hair was platinum and I was using all this heat on it, I got a 1-inch hair trim every 3 months. Always listen to your own hair. Feel your ends, look at the state of them. Nobody can really tell you exactly when to go and get your hair cut except for yourself and like your stylist. If you're going in, she's like, oh, you might want to come in a little bit more, or actually girl, you only need to come in every 6 months. For a lot of people that are platinum, they get their hair trimmed every 6 to 7 weeks. So it really just depends on how your hair takes bleach and heat damage. But just know you're gonna have to get way more trim. So how often do I trim my hair now? I would say it's like 1 to 2 times. I think this year it was 3 times. It really depends on so many other factors, like what your hair has gone through. Earlier this year when I went to Coachella, I already felt like I needed a hair trim, and then I put my hair through so much heat, and obviously we were in the desert and we were in super dry weather, and my hair does not like dry weather. The ends were so dry and snapping off. I needed a deep conditioning treatment, and I was like, I'm just getting another haircut. So I decided to get a dusting. If you're trying to grow out your hair and you have no split end, do not cut your hair. You do not need a hair trim. You know the fun little saying, cutting your hair makes your hair grow faster? I don't know who worded it like that. The wording of it just makes the wording is wrong. It's not necessarily not true, but it's not necessarily correct. Trimming off split ends will help grow your hair in healthier and stop it from breaking off, but it doesn't actually help like your hair grow out from your scalp more, and that's what it sounds like. If you said that to a person who has no split ends, it wouldn't make their hair grow in healthier. Scalp massages. So this is something that everybody can do. You don't need a fancy tool. I do use some things that I'm gonna show you in a second, but you can just literally go in with your fingers. Now, this is definitely the part that I slack on probably the most in my hair care routine because I just forget, and it is the most easy and it's free. It's gonna be my August month goal, is to actually try and do a scalp massage every single day. Scalp massages promote blood circulation to the hair follicle. With that extra blood circulation and stimulation, you are delivering more nutrients, iron, zinc, protein to the hair follicle, helping your hair grow in healthier hair. Doing scalp massages consistently helps your overall density. It's helping deliver all the oxygen and nutrients in your hair follicle, making your strands grow out healthier and stronger. And that is so important for when you want super long hair, because now your hair strands are so much stronger that they can endure a lot more things and not have breakage as easily as if your hair was weaker. It also is a light exfoliation, and keeping the scalp exfoliated, which we're gonna get more into, is extremely important for a healthy scalp. I feel like a lot of people forget that scalp massages is a really big stress reliever, and stress is a humongous reason for a lot of people's hair loss and hair thinning. And I know it might not seem like a lot, like,
Oh my gosh, my stress is cured.
no, but it does help a little bit. Maybe doing it in the morning when you wake up before you're going to have a stressful day, or before you go to bed and you're having trouble sleeping. Why not? It can't hurt, and then you're helping your hair grow. Moving on to pre-wash. I have multiple pre-wash routines because I have like a lazy girl routine because I get lazy and don't want to do the whole like long oiling routine. First, gonna start out with my oiling routine. My personal favorite is to oil with rosemary oil, and to put it shortly, it has helped my hair to grow in so much thicker and stronger. My hair strands are literally thicker. This is probably the biggest and most important step in my routine to transforming my hair. I have been scalp oiling for 4 years now, which is just absolutely insane, and I don't really think I will ever stop because I just feel like the results speak for itself. And I know scalp oiling is a little bit more of a controversial topic. You know, some people say it doesn't work. There is a study on PubMed of minoxidil and rosemary oil being compared on alopecia patients, and this is actually what sparked my interest in even trying rosemary oil. And I will say, a lot of chemists and people have said that this study has some issues, so take that however you want. I will say a lot of cultures also hair oil, and I like to look at cultures and science, not just like one or the other. And also sometimes stuff with beauty, your own experience matters. Ever since I started talking about hair oiling on the daily, I get multiple DMs from people showing me their before and after pictures of specifically hair oiling, and it is so insane seeing your guys' transformation, and it's pretty mind-blowing. So I'm gonna keep hair oiling. Before I actually apply the scalp oil, I completely detangle my hair. You want to make sure your hair is really detangled because you don't want to detangle your hair after you put the hair oil in, because when you have hair oil in your hair, it makes your hair more fragile, and brushing through it can cause a lot of breakage. Then we are going to be doing a scalp massage. You can do the scalp massage for like 10 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I do it for like 3 to 5 minutes because I'm really impatient. I have tried basically every single type of scalp machine. I also have more than I'm just showing here. I have like little electrical ones and ones with red light therapy, and there are so many little contraptions, it's crazy. But my favorite of all time is to go in with wooden tools, specifically a bamboo brush. The bristles on bamboo and wooden brushes are just different than plastic ones, and they help stimulate your scalp more, especially the ones with like the little balls on them. I will say this one by Crown Affair is one of my favorites as well. And they recently gave me like a new brush and they engraved my name on it, and it is very cute, and I just wanted to share because I'm really thankful, and I don't know, I just thought it was so cute. Also, something I definitely will be doing soon when I get more shells for like a little summer craft is covering the back of my bamboo brush in like all these shells and art, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Anyways, that's a little craft idea for you. When using a brush to scalp massage, you literally just glide the brush on your scalp, and it's going to feel tingly by the end of you massaging it, and that is 100% normal. It's supposed to feel that way. That means you're doing a good job. You obviously don't want to press like super hard where you're like hurting yourself, and I will actually take my bamboo brush, place it on my scalp, and move the skin on my scalp like back and forth or in circular motions. If you have a wooden comb, that works too. This is probably my least favorite out of the tools. I just feel like the bamboo brush works better. If you have a scalp massager, that also works. And if you don't have any of that, just use your freaking fingers. And let me show you the right and wrong way to do it. You do not want to rub your fingers back and forth like this. That is going to cause a lot of hair fall. It's just a little too abrasive, and it's going to tangle the crap out of your roots. You want to place your hands on your scalp, move the skin back and forth on your skull. You can do it in circular motions as well. You can also flip your head over and massage, and this is called the inversion method, and this is a very popular thing that people say grows their hair in way faster. Remember, it doesn't grow your hair in faster, but I will say it is a very effective way to give yourself a scalp massage because it's just like extra promoting blood circulation and stimulation. Just careful when you get up if you have some like iron problems or anemic or have vertigo, because you might feel a little dizzy. Every time I do this, I get crazy vertigo after. There's so many rosemary oils out there, and there's just going to be more and more every single day because scalp oiling is becoming so much more popular, which I love that, but it's also very overwhelming. Like, what the hell are you supposed to buy? So this rosemary oil is the best straightforward rosemary oil I have ever used. I still use this all of the time. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a new favorite, and it's by the Innate Life. Dude, is it innate? It's spelled like innate, and I have no idea why I've been saying Innate Life. Innate? My bad. I've been saying it wrong for years. It's okay. This one is still so amazing and is one that I use all of the time. This is just rosemary oil. This is rosemary oil with other herbs in it, and it has mint in it. And I love the way this makes my scalp feel. It makes it like feel more awake. Also, mint is like extremely good for scalp health. My scalp has just been like a little itchy recently. I've been trying out some new shampoos. If you have an itchy scalp, use scalp products with mint in them. Holy crap, it will help so much. Mint also helps with stimulation and helping your blood circulation, and it's just an extra further step that can help your hair grow and healthier. I used this one a really long time ago, ran out of the bottle, and then kind of just like forgot to buy it, and I forgot how much I loved this product. So this is probably my number one that I have been using. Another one that I always love to promote is Gola Beauty hair oil. The girl who owns Gola Beauty's name is Tina, and I just love her. She is so sweet. If you want more hair care tips and stuff, I definitely suggest going and like following her. She is a licensed trichologist, which I love. Comforting knowing that a licensed trichologist owns the business. And there's a lot of before and after pictures that are very like, whoa, you can definitely see the difference in hair density on her website and all over her page. I always love to throw smaller company businesses out there. I have promoted the Miele rosemary oil multiple times. I've used both the original one and then the lighter weight formula one a lot for months on end, and I never had a problem with it. But the amount of criticism that I have seen just kind of turns me off. And yes, a lot of those people, when you go down and see how they apply it, they're using it wrong. But just seeing clumps of hair falling out from people's head and stuff, I'm not gonna promote the product anymore. And I really wanna find you guys a more affordable, like drugstore rosemary oil that has quality ingredients that aren't filled with super cheap, like soybean oil and then a little drop of rosemary oil. I will say the scalp oils that I use do last a very, very long time, and in my opinion, are definitely worth it. There is so many mistakes that you can make while hair oiling. Please listen up. Do not just throw oil on your hair and call it a day. You need to know all the do's and don'ts. So the scalp massage before is very necessary. It's actually going to help the hair oil further penetrate the hair follicle. It's going to help your hair oil work better. I split my hair. I add 3 drops in the part, move over 1 inch, part my hair, put 3 drops, and I do that on my whole head. Now that my hair is a little bit longer and thicker for the back, I will kind of split it to really make sure I'm getting all over my scalp. But honestly, I kind of just like squeeze it it out back there. A little goes a long way. You do not want to drench your hair in oil, and that's probably the biggest thing that I see that people do wrong. If you put too much, you're going to clog the hair follicle, and that can just lead you to having like super duper oily hair all the time, and you're not going to be getting the growth benefits. The dropper fills up like halfway, so I honestly use like two and a half of these, so like one whole syringe and a little bit more. I always add a teeny bit more to my face framing and the back of my neck for those extra fragile baby hairs. Add a few more drops on my fingers, and then you're gonna want to massage your scalp again. And I will massage my scalp for about 3 minutes. This is rosemary oil that you can go in on your scalp with. This is rosemary essential oil that you cannot go on your scalp with. If you go in with rosemary essential oil on your scalp, your hair is going to fall out in clumps. It's the biggest no-no when it comes to scalp oiling. If you do want to use the rosemary essential oil, and it's kind of a more affordable way to go about it, you're supposed to dilute the essential oil with a carrier oil. I'm just going to put up a few clips. These are carrier oils, and this is something that you definitely can Google. You can Google the ratios of how many drops to put in and blah blah blah. I personally just like to buy diluted oils already, and all of the oils that I'm showing you that I use on my scalp are already diluted. You need to be careful what oil you use depending on your hair type. If you have more fine hair or you're dealing with like hair loss, you need to use a scalp oil with a lighter formula. Thicker ones can just be too heavy for you and actually cause more hair loss. Just know, when you start using hair oil, you do lose hair. There's a lot of hairs in the exogen phase in your hair cycle, which I touch on a lot in the other hair care video I did, and we'll touch on a little bit later. But all of those hairs were already ready to come out. Hair oiling and all of the stimulation and all that is just removing them, but they were already ready to come out. They were just sitting there. Do not do an oiling treatment if you have dry shampoo in your hair. You are basically not getting any of the benefits from your hair oil, and you're just wasting the product and the money you spent on the product. Definitely make sure when you're doing an oil treatment to do it on hair that you didn't use dry shampoo on. Can you scalp oil if you have an oily scalp? I have an oily scalp very naturally and have to wash my hair every other day. Can I put hair oil on already oily hair? Absolutely. You know when you're removing your makeup or sunscreen or just like dirt and grime on your face with an oil cleanser before you wash your face? That is kind of like using scalp oil on already oily hair, and if anything, it's just gonna help lift all of that oil and dirt and grime off of your scalp. I also apply oil to my mids and ends, and I do not apply rosemary oil to my mids and ends because that is just a scalp oil. My favorite for when my hair is dry and I need like a reset, my ends need some help, which is a lot of the times now that my hair is just getting longer and longer, is the Gola Beauty hair gloss. And this is a hair oil treatment, not like a gloss like I'm gonna be talking about later. One thing with having longer hair now is you do have to go in with a little bit more product than before because there is more hair. My second favorite, which is just like a normal oil that I go in with all my mids and ends, is argan oil. I always add a teeny bit extra on my very ends because those are the driest. You don't want to drench your hair in oil because there's really no other benefit to it, and you're just gonna waste a lot of shampoo trying to wash it all out of your hair. If you do your whole entire hair washing routine and after your hair still feels oily, that means you put too much in. So I'm gonna let my hair sit for 3 to 4 hours. Do not leave hair oil in overnight. I know it can seem convenient, but there's so many cons to it that it just is not worth it. It clogs the hair follicle, it attracts a bunch of dust, further clogging the hair follicle, and you toss and turn when you sleep and it can cause a lot of breakage. So when I have it in for 3 to 4 hours, I always put my hair in a protective hairstyle, and my favorite is braids. Never put your hair in a super tight hairstyle. I know it's super common for people to put a bunch of hair oil in and put like a super sleek look. That is definitely going to cause some breakage. So I either put it in a French or a Dutch braid. In this video, I did it in a French braid. Recently, I've been doing French braids more. I finally like figured out how to do it on myself, and I just think they're so freaking pretty. If I'm not feeling like doing any of that and I do not want to wait 3 to 4 hours for my hair oil to sit in, I have a lazy routine. It only takes like 5 to 10 minutes. I detangle my hair. I'm taking the Fable & Mane Holy Roots oil. Very messily, just take like a syringe, apply that all over my roots, apply the same exact oil to my mids and ends, put that in a little bun. This is also the other protective hairstyle I do. It's not tugging or super tight. Are you getting growth benefits from this? No. It's helping protect my natural oils on my scalp. It helps my mids and ends not get dried out from washing. My hair feels so much better after I wash it when I do this rather than not doing it. And the reason why I don't want dry ends is when your ends are dry, they become very brittle and it can cause a lot of breakage. And obviously when you're trying to maintain length and grow your hair out longer, that's like the number one thing that you don't want to happen. Next is scalp exfoliation, and scalp exfoliation is so freaking important. It's definitely one of those things that I feel like everybody should add in their routine a little bit. The most forgotten thing, I feel like. It helps your hair grow in at its natural rate, and it just helps your hair grow in healthier, helps your scalp to feel better if you have scalp issues, and I use the Ilyyyyyyyyy salicylic acid scalp treatment. So I also use salicylic acid on my skin, and it's just amazing at exfoliating. It removes dead skin cells and buildup, regulates sebum production, so if you have a super duper oily scalp, this can help with that. And it also helps with scalp circulation, therefore helping healthy hair growth. And this one's super easy. You just apply it all over your scalp. The 5 to 10 minutes like it says on the bottle, and then continue with shampooing. Next exfoliant is actually a physical exfoliant, and this is the only physical exfoliant that I use now. And this one is the Gola Beauty Scalp Scrub. If you see on the bottle, it also has ingredients like salicylic acid, which is great. You can substitute this as your shampoo, but I personally like to use this first and then shampoo after. I apply it evenly throughout all my parts of my hair and then apply some to my fingertips and massage that in. It's strong enough to exfoliate, but it's not abrasive enough to leave micro tears, because that's definitely an issue I've had in the past. And then after like a day, my head is like itchy. It removes product buildup, reduces dandruff and flakiness, stimulates hair follicles, and improves blood circulation. I do one of these scalp exfoliant treatments every 1 to 2 weeks, just depending on how built up I feel like my scalp is. By addressing buildup on the scalp consistently, it helps the long-term health with your hair, which is definitely something that I'm always trying to do. Now let's get into my hair wash routine. The main question that I think I get on every single post, even if it's not about hair care and it's just like a makeup or skincare, just a random video on TikTok: how many times do you wash your hair? Which is definitely a valid question. I will always give the same exact answer. It is different every single week. I only wash my hair when it's oily. Now, does that average around 3 to 5 times a week? Yes. We do not believe in hair training over here. I used to a really long time ago, a few years back, until I actually did real research. You can comment that it works for you, but tell me exactly why scientifically it works for you, and then I'll believe you if you can give me a reason. But I used to do it because I tried it for like a year to 2 years straight. I lost hair. Your hair follicle gets so clogged up with oil and dirt and dead skin and just a lot of nastiness that needs to be washed away, and you're shortening the anagen phase of your hair, meaning your hair is going to fall out prematurely. Your hair is going to stop seeming like it's growing, because when your hair gets to a certain point, it's going to fall out every single time consistently, and your hair is just going to fall out. So your hair is going to be stopping at one length and get thinner. So if you want to try a hair training, then go for it. But us over here, we wash our hair when it gets oily. And people that say washing your hair every day or every other day makes your hair fall out are people that just washed their hair too much for them and had bad results. Wash your hair when your hair gets oily. Guess what? If your hair gets oily in 7 days, wash your hair every 7 days. And some people think that that's hair training. Nope, you're just washing your hair when it gets oily. When I get in the shower, I make sure my hair is very, very wet. I literally run my hair under warm water for like 3 minutes to help open everything up. Thicker, longer hair, like you can think all of your hair is wet and then all the hair back here is actually like not wet. On the normal, I only shampoo my roots. That is the only thing that really needs to be cleansed consistently, because that is where the oils are coming from your scalp. Now, all of that shampoo that runs down the shaft of your hair is cleansing the lengths of your hair the perfect amount. If I washed the lengths of my hair every single time I washed my hair, they would get so dry and I would have so much breakage. You will always see me using a different shampoo and conditioner. And that is not because I believe the thing where you need to switch your shampoo and conditioners up all the time for them to work. I genuinely am just always testing out new products. This is my favorite affordable shampoo and conditioner. It's extremely moisturizing, doesn't dry out my ends, and this is definitely one that is extremely popular amongst a lot of people. It is sold out all the time, but it's popular for a reason. I will say a lot of L'Oreal shampoo and conditioners are probably the best in the drugstore, and I'm in the midst of trying more drugstore products because I'm trying to help y'all out, because some of the products are just so expensive, and I feel bad for promoting them, which I feel bad because my favorite shampoo and conditioner is like the most expensive damn thing on the face of the planet, byeeeee, and I'm sorry, but this is my favorite shampoo and conditioner that I have ever used. No, you don't need to go out and buy it, but if you're looking for a good shampoo and conditioner and you can spend the coin on it, I definitely recommend this one. I have never used a shampoo and conditioner that has actually made my hair feel so much healthier. My hair still feels moisturized without feeling like stripped. It feels clean, but not like stripped. My mids and ends are so moisturized. I could literally use this shampoo and no conditioner and my hair would still look good. I shampoo for about 30 seconds. I rinse that out with warm water, and I'm actually going to shampoo my roots again. This does depend on the shampoo and conditioner. Some shampoos you don't need a double cleanse with depending on the formulation, but I have found with most, double cleansing the roots does not hurt. It does not strip my scalp and then make my hair super duper oily. When I started doing this, I saw a major shift in my hair's health and how fast my hair was growing in. When I was only shampooing my hair once, it definitely was making my hair grow in slower because my scalp was not clean enough. With doing it twice just really ensures that my scalp is clean and there's not a bunch of crap in the way that's clogging the follicle and making my hair grow slower. When you hair oil, you need to shampoo twice. That is very important. No matter what shampoo you are using. On my second shampoo, I will go in with a scalp massager and really make sure that shampoo is getting in there, really making sure all of the oil is removed. And this is also just another little step in keeping the scalp on a regular basis exfoliated. I rinse my hair with warm water again. I do it with warm water when I'm cleansing. I feel like it just helps get everything out of it. With thicker, longer hair, I find this next step very important. Split the hair in the back of my head and do an extra rinse. The back of my head used to get really oily and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I finally realized when I was actually filming TikToks and stuff of me washing my hair, was seeing like bubbles still leaving the back of my head when I was finishing up rinsing my hair. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it kind of looks like there's like shampoo stuck in there. And so I was getting a bunch of buildup that was causing my scalp back here to get super oily from shampoo that wasn't fully rinsed out. And now I don't have that problem anymore. If you're having just oily scalp back here, that might be the issue. There is a time where I do cleanse my mids and ends. About once a month. If I use a lot of products on my hair that month, maybe twice, I do a clarifying treatment. I use the Redken clarifying shampoo. On the first shampoo, I will shampoo all of my hair, mids and lengths and all. Depending on how crazy the product buildup is too, like you can read the directions on this product. You can leave it sitting on there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. This is the best clarifying detox shampoo I have ever used. I have tried like 5 different ones and I will never stop using this one. If you don't know if you have product buildup, I always can tell when my hair looks more dull. It feels very weighed down. I'm constantly having like bad hair days in a row. The best way to describe it is it feels like you didn't fully rinse out your conditioner when you did. Some people say to use clarifying shampoo every single time you oil your hair. If I personally did that, my ends would be like very dry. Big misconception that I just want to mention that I see posted all the time is if you have a very oily scalp to use a clarifying shampoo every single time you shampoo your scalp is going to freak out and feel so dry and start like overproducing oil. Like, no. Vader's been so much more cuddly recently and I just love it. I have dandruff, sir.
He needs a salicylic acid treatment, right?
Get your butt off of my notes. Excuse me. Okay. Once a week, I will either go in with a hair gloss or a hair mask, or both if I'm feeling really crazy. But I really make sure I use a hair mask. If not, I use a hair mask like twice a week because I need those ends to be moisturized. If I were to go in with both, I would go in with the hair gloss right after shampooing and then follow up with a hair mask. For the hair gloss, this Redken one is my favorite. I have promoted the Kerastase one, the Oribe one. I have tried out the Amika one and those are all amazing, but this Redken one is the best one that I have tried that is not a professional one, that is the closest to a professional treatment. I squeeze out excess water so it doesn't dilute the product. Apply that all over my mids and ends. This one you should definitely wear gloves because it kind of can like burn. You let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes like it says in the directions, and then I rinse it with cool water until it is completely rinsed out. You don't want to leave any of it still in your hair. Only last a week max and like 3 to 5 washes. And what they do is they make your hair shiny, they tame frizz, they make your hair more manageable if you have very like frizzy, curly, or wavy hair, even if you have straight hair but it's very frizzy, it just makes it more manageable. And I love that hair glosses are becoming like more popular and more people are learning about them, because this is one thing that has helped my hair get longer. I have a lot of favorite hair masks, so buckle up. The Gissu one is my #1 favorite. I have just run out of this mask and I am so sad because I don't want to buy another one until I use my other ones up, but this is my favorite mask on the face of the planet. It is so moisturizing, and that is what I need from a hair mask because my ends are so prone to being just naturally dry. My favorite affordable moisturizing mask is this one by Shea Moisture, the Curl and Shine mask. It says it's for curly hair, and a lot of curly hair products have very thick ingredients like shea butter and coconut oil, but I will say it does not weigh my hair down at all, and it is very moisturizing and affordable. So if you are in need for a repairing mask, the Don't Despair and Repair mask and their shampoo and conditioner are so good if you need repairing, if you have bleached your hair, if you use heat on your hair all the time. Every time I use heat on my hair, I will use a repairing mask following up on my next wash, and if I just use heat on my hair a little more often than usual, this was like the most popular mask I used when I was bleaching my hair and using a lot of heat on it. For an affordable repairing mask that I used to use a lot as well, this L'Oreal repair mask. This stuff is so good. It also smells so freaking bomb. It makes my hair feel so moisturized and healthy. To apply my hair mask, I always do it after shampooing. I never ever apply a hair mask on dry hair. This is such a popular thing. And you know what? If it works for you and you're doing it, it makes your hair feel great, then keep doing it, whatever. Like, you don't need to listen to me. Hair masks are formulated to go on clean, damp hair after shampooing. So when you use them on your dry hair, you have to use way more product. So you're wasting the product and it's not going to be penetrating your hair like it's actually meant to do. And you're not going to be getting the full benefits. If you're using a repairing one and you put it on dry hair, it's not repairing your hair more. Like, I know it can seem like it, but it's not. And you're kind of just wasting the product and your own money. And that's the only reason why I'm saying this, is because I don't want people to waste their money on a freaking hair product. Squeeze out all of the excess water and apply that to my mids and ends. When I had bleached hair, I would kind of glide it on my roots, not rub it into my scalp. If the hair mask says it's formulated for the scalp, then definitely put it on there and make sure you're checking the ingredients to make sure it's not going to clog your follicle. But I will say most of the hair masks I've ever come across are not formulated for the scalp, and if you put them on there, it's going to clog the follicle and can make your hair grow slower and cause a lot of buildup on the scalp. I leave that in for 10 or 30 minutes. This is a newer thing that I do, and I will take a bath and leave my hair mask in and then rinse it out after I'm done with like a 30-minute bath. And this is what I do if I really need moisture. Instead of putting it on before, I definitely suggest to just leave a hair mask on your damp hair for like 30 minutes. And I always clip it up off of my back in the shower or the bath, because a lot of ingredients in hair products, specifically hair masks and conditioner, laying on your back can cause back knee and chest acne. And I just want to throw that in there because I am very prone to acne and I had to learn that the hard way. I will rinse it out with cool water. And so now that we're done with the washing, we're moving to cool water. And this is just going to help seal the cuticle. It's going to help your cuticle not be as rough. This is going to help your hair when it's dry to be less frizzy and more shiny. I always use a conditioner after a hair mask. I have personally found that my hair feels better when I finish it off with conditioner. And you know, conditioner is formulated to be like the final step in sealing the cuticle. And I squeeze out the excess water so the conditioner is not diluted and you're getting the most bang for your buck. I leave that in for 3 minutes minimum. Sometimes the bottle will say 5 minutes and I'll listen to it if it says that. And then rinse that with cool water. And that brings us to the end of our washing routine, where I always put my hair up in a microfiber hair towel. Microfiber hair towels are freaking great. There's no cons. They absorb water better. They reduce frizz. They reduce breakage. They don't roughen up your hair as much as normal like terry cloth towels do. That's why it makes your hair less frizzy. And since it's doing that, it's actually making your hair shinier too. So they're just all around great, and I think everybody needs a freaking microfiber hair towel. If you want something super quick at home, you don't want to get a microfiber hair towel, you can actually use just like a cotton t-shirt, or a cotton long sleeve shirt works better to like wrap it up. It's better than just a normal towel. Now those don't absorb as well, but it's less damaging on your actual hair. We have talked about circulation a million times at this point for hair growth. Scalp massages, using certain ingredients on your scalp, and that is super important. Something that is equally just as important is moving your body. Exercise is important for a million reasons, and that is actually going to lead us into our sponsor for today. I have started using this app, and it's called Ladder, and it's basically like a personal trainer on your phone, but it's without the stress of going to a personal trainer in person and a crazy price tag. With Ladder, you get an expert coach who gives you a structured plan every single day. I have posted things about my workout journey. As most people in the beginning, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, if your form is correct or not. Before this, I was just doing like random exercises I saw on social media that were taught by people that were not expert coaches, and I definitely was doing a lot of things wrong. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. Now I actually know what I'm doing when I work out. I chose a defined, focused plan, so it's targeted more towards toning and building strength. And my coach literally maps out everything from reps to rest time. It adjusts weekly and is designed to actually make you get stronger, not just sweat and hope for the best. I'm excited to tell you that if you do want to try out Ladder, there is going to be a link in my description that will give you 33% off. Okay. There's also a free 7-day trial, and you do not need a credit card to sign up for it. Whether you work out at home or the gym, Ladder takes all of the guesswork out of it. This is the first fitness app that I've actually stuck to. Thank you so much, Ladder, for sponsoring this video and actually helping me get to my body goals and making that more realistic for me. Leave-ins is something I take a little bit more serious now that my hair is getting longer, something that I've just had to like pay more attention to, and I really can't skip out on them now. Like, I skipped out on it a few weeks back, and I'm like, my hair is so frizzy and dry. I wish my hair just naturally air dried with no product being perfect. And you know what? I'm jealous of people that can do that. I really am. But my hair just, it gets frizzy and dry. I actually already filmed that, so we're gonna go to that really quick. I've tried a lot of leave-ins, a lot of leave-in conditioners, and the product that I've been gravitating towards the most, like the last few months, the Redken 25 Benefits. This is definitely like a lazy girl product. It's a leave-in conditioner, and it has obviously like 25 other benefits. It has heat protection, it makes my hair super moisturized, but is super duper lightweight. I have heard you, okay? I use a lot of really expensive products on my hair. So over the last like few months, I've been trying to find more affordable options. Moisture. I do like this one more. I like both of them, but I will say one thing that I've heard consistently from other people is that it can feel waxy. So I feel like it just depends on your hair texture, because they don't really feel waxy to me. Odell leave-in conditioner, one of the best drugstore brands. Not Your Mother's is drugstore, right? It's in like the drugstore section at Ulta. If you're looking for a leave-in that's like a bonding leave-in if you have damaged bleached hair, this one is amazing. I actually did a sponsorship for this, and you guys know I only do sponsorships for things I actually use, but I've been trying to find one that is basically like a dupe for this one. I wanted a spray, I wanted a quick one, and L'Oreal just is that girl. I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of very expensive brands also own not expensive brands. Like Kerastase owns L'Oreal. Have been very, very impressed with L'Oreal products. This is the Everpure, which I love all of the Everpure stuff. 20-in-1 spray, multi-benefit leave-in. So guys, these are very, very similar. So if you are looking for a leave-in that is like a cream, this is my all-time favorite leave-in, but I'm not gonna lie, these two are like up there. I don't know if I can like pick a favorite, and I low-key use both now. The longer my hair is getting, the more dry my ends are getting, and the more care that they need. This is the Crown Affair leave-in. Take like 2 pumps of that and just put it on mids and ends, you know, and this is still very weightless. Every single product I promote is very weightless and doesn't really feel like there's stuff in your hair. My hair gets so easily weighed down, especially now that it's longer. If you're using heat on your hair and not using heat protectant, what are you doing? Is there heat protectant already in like the products we just used? Absolutely. But I'm a freak, and I also go in with a heat protectant because I really, really want to protect my hair. I only use heat on my hair now like once or twice a month. I do a lot of heatless curls. There are times where I want to use heat on my hair. I like doing blowouts, and it's usually for videos or if I'm just, you know, feeling like a blowout. In the summertime, if I'm like going to the beach or I know I'm going out and my head is going to be in the sun, I will put a heat protectant on it. UV rays can also cause heat damage. First, we're going to start out with affordable options. OGX Bond Protein Repair Heat Protectant Spray. I really like the sprayer on this one because it's like a, you know, it's like one of those. It's very airy and it really gets all over the hairs. I also did a sponsorship for this because OGX, I am liking them more and more every single day. Did I used to say I didn't like OGX like 4 or 5-ish years ago? Yeah, I did. I also said the same exact thing about Tresemme. You want to know why? Because they had formaldehyde in their products and they had a lot of lawsuits. We need to have a little chat about this, okay? On why my opinions change, because I feel like I owe that to you guys because I said I didn't like certain brands and now I do. When a brand changed the formulation of their products to have better ingredients in them, I'm gonna try their products out again. And if I like them, I'm going to promote them and be like, hey, this is actually a good product. Did they have issues in the past? Yeah, they did, but they fixed it. Should we just never use it again, ever? Not everyone has $1,000 to be spending at Sephora for hair care. Also, big brands also get lawsuits all of the time. Nobody talks about it though. They only talk about the drugstore places that get lawsuits. 99% of people use drugstore products. So I've been going out of my way to find really good products. OGX, I like what you've been doing. I like quite a bit of their shampoo and conditioners and their leave-ins and their oils. It made my hair like really, really shiny when I used it. If you have damaged hair and you want to help with repair, that rhymed. This is a good product for you. Dream Slayer Heat Protectant Spray. I have just personally found that L'Oreal has really good products and this is a good product if you're just looking for a heat protectant spray, okay? This is a good one in the affordable area. Okay, now we're going to get to my favorite, which is not what you would say affordable, and it's actually different than the one that I have promoted in the past. Now, all of the other products that I've promoted in the past, like the Maria Nilla Heat Spray, that product is amazing. I will say I don't like the sprayer on it, and I always sprayed it in my hand. That was the only downside to that product. K18 reached out to me to do a sponsorship for this product, and I took them up on it because I love K18. They're always ahead of the game in science. This heat protectant is so freaking cool, and it is so good. It's definitely going to be my go-to. My hair literally felt so freaking soft because it also has like conditioning properties. It's not just a heat protectant. It's the K18 Heat Bounce. Spray that all over and brush it through. They have used Resilicore Tech, which is basically trying to mimic Resilin, and Resilin is a super elastic protein found in nature, like insects and stuff. It penetrates super duper deep into the cortex of the hair, and normal heat protectants, like every other one that I have ever used, only goes on the surface of the strand, and this one actually gets in there deep where damage can also occur. But normal heat protectants can't, like, they're not strong enough to defend against it, you know, especially if you're like flat ironing and stuff. I have 3 favorite hair oils, starting off with an affordable option. This is the OGX Penetrating Argan Oil, and I have been promoting this product for like, it's gotta be like 5 years now. And before I was like even doing social media and I was in high school, this is one of the first ever hair care products that I ever bought. Is it very silicone-y? Yes, it is. But you know me, you know I actually like silicones, and it's one of the things that has actually helped my hair finally grow out super long without breaking off. I'm gonna be over here using my silicones while people freak out about them. Next is the Kerastase oil. Now, I will say this is probably my #1 favorite hair oil. I don't even know how to explain it. It does feel a little bit like more higher quality than the OGX one, but I think that's because it's more expensive. Feel like my hair feels better with the Kerastase, but they're very, very close. Let me just take a moment, because their packaging used to be so beautiful, and I'm actually using my mini one. I ran out of my big one. I don't have enough money to buy a new one at the moment. Is it crazy of me that when I do eventually buy a new one that I want to keep this bottle and put the hair oil from the new bottle in this one because their new packaging just like does not hit? Like, I'm sorry. I love Kerastase so much. I have loved every single product that I've ever tried from them, but like, why did you take this beautiful packaging? Last hair oil for the mids and ends, the Rahua Legendary Amazon Oil. If you are looking for a hair oil that is not silicone-y, because I'm pretty sure there is no silicone in most Rahua products, if not all, one that is just purely like moisture and not, you don't get that silicone-y feeling, because I know some people don't like that feeling. This oil right here is so amazing. I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes I just don't want the silicone-y feeling, and sometimes I feel like my hair is already soft. It just needs a little bit more hydration, and I will go in with this one. And I have been using this one, I think, for like 3-ish years now. Brush it all in, really make sure it's distributed properly. And now I'm going to style my hair. There is going to be an updated blowout routine soon okay? Trying to practice with the long hair to try and get it to hold as best as possible. I just want to make sure I have all of the tips and stuff before I sit down and make a video for it. My blow dryer, I never go past the second setting unless I'm using a product that needs to be activated by heat or something. I always make sure the blow dryer has a nozzle, and I'm making sure it's pointed down, because if you point it up into the hair, it can roughen up the cuticle and actually damage your hair a lot. I cover most of this in my blowout routines already on my channel, and I will in the next one. And our next whole entire section is going to be about length protection. Length protection is so important for when you grow your hair out. I treat my hair so gently. I never just like rake a brush through my hair. She's very fragile. She needs a lot of TLC. So when I brush my hair, I use a detangling brush always. I brush from the very ends and work my way up to the roots. How you treat your hair is a big factor in if you're going to have a lot of breakage or not. Whenever I see a video of a girl just like it hurts. And that used to be me. I used to just not care, and in the morning before school, just like so mad at the world that I have to get up and go to school. Like, I get it. But now I treat her like a little baby, and I'm very gentle with her. Next is how I protect and take care of my hair at nighttime. I washed my hair today, and I already brushed it, so it's kind of like poofy and more straight. This is basically what I do like every single night to my hair. I wake up with something that's a little better to work with than this. Like, this isn't even that bad. The longer my hair gets, the more I like how it air dries. It kind of has straightened out so much just from being weighed down. Already brushed it, so pretty much completely detangled, but I detangle because I am going to be doing some heatless waves. First, taking the Kerastase night serum. So now that my hair is longer, I low-key have to use like more product, so I'll go in with like 2 to 3 pumps of that rather than just 1. That's definitely something you have to think about when you have longer hair. It's not like crazy, but you do have to use a little bit more product. Hair oil. I always go in with hair oil at nighttime. That much. Really disperse it all through, and then sleek it down with the praying hands method. And it can look a little oily, but my hair fully absorbs it all and then just looks like shiny and healthy in the morning. Putting my hair perfectly in the middle, the top, but in the back it really doesn't matter. Put this side away. If your hair does not hold a wave, a curl, I have said in the past that I hate mousse, okay? And mousse is what people use when they cannot get their hair to hold a curl or a wave. I've tried so many holding products and I hate all of them because I can feel them until I came across this one. Grigio sent me this like a while back. That's it. And we put it in just this one section right here. You might be able to kind of feel it barely in your hair right now, but in the morning when you take everything out, you don't feel the mousse in your hair. And it's amazing, and it just makes it hold a little bit better. To teach you guys how I do this, it's not like rocket science and it's not anything new. It's basically a French rope braid. People call them a million things. This is what I've always called them because it's like a French braid because it's close to your head, but it's a rope braid, so I just call it a French rope braid with one little section. The smaller you do it, the more defined the waves are going to be, but even if they're bigger sections, you can just separate them. I like to do like smaller sections, and it makes the braids look prettier if you want to wear these braids out. Twist it at the front, then I grab another piece and wrap it around that piece, bringing the first piece down here. Then I'm going to take a slice, add it to the first piece, wrap around. Now we have the second piece down there, adding hair to that one and wrapping around. And we're going to do that until we get to like the ear right here, all the face framing hairs. And you want to constantly kind of brush it out. So now we're going to take the hair back here. You're not going to go down here because then you're going to have that weird like area in the back of your head where there's no waves and there's just going to be a huge indent. I'm going to take like this section right here, add that to the bottom. Now I take hair here, and then I take hair from here, and I just go back and forth. So I'm going to bed in these, so I don't really care if they're like super pretty or not. Now you can make them like super duper neat if you want to like just wear these out, because these are just really cute hairstyle. When you finally twisted the last little bit and you're just here with the mids and ends, you're going to take this top section, twist, twist, down, then you're going to take this section and switch places and twist it around it. Twist, twist down, and that way. And this is the easiest way that I have ever found to do rope braids, because yes, you can just twist both of the sections at the same time away from each other and then wrap them around, but they are never as tight as you're going to see. And this just really keeps all of those little baby hairs in. And I do have face framing layers, and I get questions on how I keep them in like all the braids that I do, and I genuinely don't know. I think it's just like the hair oil, because, and maybe like how tight I do them. I don't know, guys. I do this two different ways. If I wanted to go to my very ends and look like a little bit more natural, like I didn't put rope braids in and my hair is just naturally that wavy and defined, I will go to the very bottom and put clear elastics. But a lot of times I just go in with scrunchies, and I make sure the ends are like very flat and not crimped underneath the hair tie, because that's when you get like those really ugly ends. And going in with like a satin little scrunchie is going to ensure that you're not getting crimped ends, and it's going to keep your ends more moisturized because it's not going to suck up all the moisture. And you can see it did not unravel at all. Okay, let's do the other one. Also, this doesn't even take me 5 minutes at nighttime anymore, because I can do it so fast. And like if I'm like really lazy, I won't do it as neat, and I'll just like throw it in to give my hair some wave the next day. But this has weirdly helped my natural wavy hair look better, like just when it air dries. Guys, I've been doing this so much that I haven't been using heat on my hair at all, because using heat had the biggest chokehold on me. Weirdly enough, the longer hair has made that so much easier, because it just like always just looks better. If I cut my hair short, I would probably start using heat on it way more. I'm really making sure we get all the back hairs, because every single time I do braids or literally anything, I always just have those like few strands in the back that I forgot. This is a protective hairstyle. With anything that you're going to be doing at night, I do a lot of heatless curls and stuff as well. This can look tight. This is not tight at all. It is not pulling from my scalp. There's not too much tension here where it's like bad for your hair. I literally cannot even sleep with my hair down anymore. When your hair gets to that like certain length where when you lay on it, it's just pulling it every 5 seconds. It's unbearable. You don't remember the struggle until you have long hair again. I didn't like make them super pretty with a perfect like parting and stuff. And I always still sleep with a silk cap on. So there we go. This is your reminder to always wash your silk cap like minimum amount once a week, because I haven't washed mine in like 3 weeks and it's been making my forehead break out, and I've just been like lazy. I keep putting it off. Beautiful, gorgeous. Okay, I'll see you guys in the morning. Nice. Good morning. This is what they look like in the morning. Still very intact. When taking them out, I get just a little bit of hair oil on my hands and run them like this. And this helps them just like not puff up. I separate them very gently. Because like normal wavy hair, if you like brush it or too crazy with it, it'll just turn into a big puff ball, and then it will have a bunch of frizz. With it fully taken out, and now I'm just going to finger separate all of these. This is what it looks like all separated, and then I do go in my roots and shake it out just for a little bit of volume, because it can be a little flat. The main thing that I really like about doing this, I don't know what kind of sorcery it is, but it completely hides my bangs. One of my biggest issues with having curtain bangs is I don't like the way they look when I want my hair style naturally wavy. They just get in the way. And when I do this, they perfectly are just like tucked away, like they're still there. But I don't know, I just feel like it suits me and it's helped my natural waves to style better. If you're a girl with wavy hair watching this, you will understand. I will take so long to style my hair so perfectly for it to look like this. Doesn't look bad, looks great. At the end of that day, it is completely fallen. It's puffy. If it's humid, it's gonna be even more puffy. And then the next morning, I'm gonna have to spray it with water and scrunch it back up and do all these things when I could just do this every night instead, and it takes me like 5 minutes, and then my hair isn't frizzy or anything all day. These heatless waves have saved my life. My hair has gone so much healthier, and my natural waves, just when I wash my hair, look so much better, because using heat on your hair when you have a wave or a curl pattern is just going to mess it up. And the only way to kind of get it to bounce back is to stop using heat on your hair and to kind of like form it back. This has helped that, and I didn't even mean to do that. I just like tried to find a perfect heatless wave for summertime, because, you know, I want to pretend to be a mermaid in the summertime. I finally mastered it, and then I just started doing it every single night, and it's the best thing ever. Finally feel like I like the way I look with wavy hair now, which is crazy because I used to blow dry my hair every single time I washed it because I felt so ugly with wavy hair. Waves from the heatless waves will last all day, but I will do them again at nighttime just to make them more defined the next morning. But if I don't do that, I still always put my hair either in a braid, a single braid. I'll usually do a French braid because it helps keep my bangs and my face framing layers in. I also just do normal braids. Braids are my favorite, if you can't tell. Or I will put my hair in a super duper loose bun on the very top of my head with clips, not hair ties. I kind of never do buns with actual hair ties now, and I always just do them with clips. It's kind of funny because now that I've grown out my hair super long, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do like cute little long hairstyles every single day. No, my hair is in a braid or one of those top buns with the clips basically every single day, and I'm just so annoyed of my hair. I'm like, get off of me. I'm always sweating, and there are some cons to having the long hair, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so worth it because then you can do hairstyles like this, and it's like my little security blanket. But yeah, when I'm like at home, like doing chores or just like working on my computer, my hair is always up because I can't stand it. I'm holding out because I want to get my hair to my goal length. Will I cut my hair after that? I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna cry. Funny, because when I started to grow out my hair, I got a lot of criticism for it, and when my hair got to like here, everyone in my comments was like, girl, your haircut before looked so much better. And then, you know, it's people on TikTok that didn't know about me like trying to grow out my hair to a certain length, and they were just like stating their opinion because they wanted to. But the thing is I agree. I do think a shorter layered haircut looks better and like fits my face better, but I have this goal where I want to grow my hair down to my hips, and I will not cut my hair just because I look better with another haircut. I honestly don't care if I look better that way, because I want to get to this goal so bad. And I love it too because I can do like so many long cool hairstyles, like I did this video like trying Targaryen braids. I don't know, I'm also really excited for Halloween this year because you already know I'm gonna be Rapunzel. Anyways, back to the video, I'm rambling. Heatless curls is the main thing that made it so much easier for me to stop using heat on my hair as much. I have a whole entire video on my favorite heatless curls, but I just want to put a little disclaimer that all the heatless curls I do are not pulling from my scalp. They might look tight, but I promise you they are not, because you can get traction alopecia. If you do tight hairstyles consistently, that is what causes traction alopecia. I just feel bad for girls that are like ballet dancers or just dancers or cheerleaders or whatever that have to like wear their hair tight all the time. I do get comments like, what do I do about it? And I'm like, girl, there's not really anything you can do about it. I mean, make it as loose as possible so it's not pulling your scalp, but that's kind of impossible when you have to do a certain look for something like that. I never do sleek looks anymore. I completely gave them up. Like, would a good middle part sleek pony look good with the long hair? Yes, it would, but a messy ponytail, I feel like literally looks better, and I do it loose so then it's not like pulling on my hair. That is one thing that I have completely avoided with having the super duper long hair, to avoid breakage. If you do sleek looks but you want to avoid traction alopecia and avoid as much breakage as possible, limit yourself to like once a week. Another further step that I take, really make sure my hair is protected and to avoid breakage, roughening up the cuticle, frizz, is wearing a silk cap every single night. I always put my hair in a braid, but if somehow I don't, I have my silk cap underneath my pillow, because sleeping on long hair just doesn't work. It chokes me. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like sweating. It gets super frizzy and it's just not ideal. And every single hair type can benefit from them. I know Black women and people with curly hair have been using them for way longer than the majority of us, and that is because curly hair, I don't know how you would sleep with curly hair and not wear a silk cap. But even if you have straight hair, I'm telling you, a silk cap is the biggest game changer ever on waking up with hair that isn't a big giant poof frizz ball. Lifestyle habits that definitely affect the health of my hair. Recently, or like probably like the last 2-ish months, I have had like no sleep. I don't know if I have insomnia, but I've been sleeping like 4 hours a night, like every night. I've been trying. Like the other day I slept 10 hours. Sleep is so important for obviously your overall health, but for hair it is really important. Think of it as like you're regenerating when you're sleeping. It's really important to get good sleep if you want your hair to grow at its normal rate, and it can definitely slow down your hair growth. And I've noticed the last like 2 months I think my hair has not grown at all, and I've had quite a bit of hair fall in my showers like the last few weeks. So that's something that I'm definitely going to try to prioritize to get more sleep. Diet is so important. You could do everything in this video and have a horrible diet and not get any results. You are what you eat, and you cannot ignore your diet. And you don't need to be perfect. Like you can still have your sweets every once in a while, and like you don't need to crazy limit yourself. A few things that I do: I make sure I get a minimum of 20 grams of protein per meal. And usually I want a little bit more than that. I want to get about 90 to 110 grams of protein in a day. And how many grams of protein you should get in depends on like your body weight, and it's literally different for everybody, and you can figure that out for yourself. But that's how much that I want to get in. I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of steak. If I didn't have a breakfast or a lunch that had a lot of protein in it, I will have a snack that has protein in it to try and get more protein in that day. I also just try to eat foods that have a lot of vitamin nutrients that are good specifically for hair growth. A breakfast, for example. Spinach has a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are good for your hair growth. I have 2 eggs, and that's 12 grams of protein. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals for hair growth. For more protein, I had some chicken sausages, and this equaled to 10 grams of protein. And then to spice it up a little bit so I could cover the taste of the eggs a little, I added some avocado, which is rich in nutrients and healthy fats. So this meal has like 23 grams of protein in it. Something else that would have been great to add was some berries. I just don't have any right now. Or putting some berries in a smoothie, because those are absolutely amazing for hair growth for being so rich in vitamins. I'd rather eat foods that contain vitamins and nutrients that my body needs rather than blindly taking supplements. And I talk about this way more in my other hair care video, so I won't be too long-winded, but people definitely take supplements and vitamins blindly way too often, and I always recommend to go and get your blood panel work done so you know what you're deficient in, or if you're even deficient in anything. People are deficient in vitamin D and iron, which can make your hair grow in thinner and weaker. So if a doctor tells you to take iron pills or vitamin D, definitely do that. But just going and blindly taking all these things and not knowing if you're getting enough, and then you're like, oh, it's not doing anything, or taking too much and having like negative side effects like biotin and getting acne, it's just not for me. I try to include foods into my diet that have those rich vitamins and nutrients and minerals that will help with my hair growth and just your overall health, your skin, your nails, and all that. I can definitely tell when my diet's not good because my hair just looks more dull, it's not as shiny, and it just doesn't grow in as well. And that's usually like good motivation to start eating better. So basically everything we just talked about, all the scalp health and all of the stuff that I do to stay healthy, getting enough sleep, having a good diet, exercising regularly, is obviously to help my hair grow in healthy, but it is to avoid hitting a short terminal length. Terminal length is the maximum amount of hair length you can grow. And I say this because there are ways to get to a longer terminal length. Terminal length can be anywhere from 12 to 42 inches of hair, if not longer or shorter. Like it's crazy different for everybody. Genetics plays a gigantuous role in this. You grow your hair out and it stops right here and then it doesn't move. You don't have split ends, you don't have breakage, you don't have any of that, and you're like, why the hell is my hair not growing out? It's because your hair is falling out prematurely in its anagen phase. So first is the anagen phase, which can be 2 to 8 years. That's just however long your hair strand is growing in. If you are consistently not getting enough sleep, if you have a health condition, a chronic disease, that's obviously going to play a humongous role. If your diet full of greasy, unhealthy food, a lot of added sugars, if you're not adding anything healthy in with vitamins, nutrients, if you never move your body, you never drink water, if you're doing all of that in the anagen phase, that is going to stunt your hair growth so much that your hair is going to fall out prematurely. So all of your hairs are growing out to this length only and then falling out. Anagen phase ends prematurely and it goes into the catagen phase, which is the transitional phase. It then enters the telogen phase, and that is when the hair is resting. And then the last one is the exogen phase, when it finally releases itself. But if you incorporate more healthy lifestyle habits, that can make your anagen phase last longer, meaning your hair is going to get longer. If you feel like it's impossible to have long hair, it is not. It just might be hard to get there. Hopefully by next year, honestly within the next few months, I will be at my hair goal length. I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope you got at least one tip out of it. And I am so happy that I've been able to like film this entire progress and that you guys have been coming along this journey with me, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
I don't know if you like the way I put my words together, but I need you to stick with me just like some birds of feathers. Or like